So speaking of killing, New York is one of the worst states in the union. So we're going to go through some states here, specifically New York and California, because it's very, very clear. You know, we used to have cities that were examples of leftist utopias like Detroit, like Chicago. Hey. Now we have whole states. And you can see if the policies worked, well, New York and California would be they would be paradise on earth. Yeah. So now we're going to go to New York first, which brings us to our new recurring segment, Empire State of Crime. So over the weekend, a deranged man pushed an Asian woman in front of a Times Square subway. Now, I know what you're thinking. Before I explain, you're thinking white supremacist?
Of course.
Watch the clip.
What'd you do? Did you push the woman on the tracks?
Yeah, you got him, God. Yes, I did.
Why?
What'd you do?
Why? Why, Simon?
Why?
61-year-old Simon Marshall was far from quiet Saturday as he was hauled out of the Midtown South precinct. Police say he's the man accused of fatally shoving a subway rider onto the tracks hours earlier at the Times Square MTA station.
Well, hold on a second. Does the reporter really need to say accused when the man said, yeah, I did it because I'm God?
I think I gave that guy $1.
Yeah, well, I think we all did. I mean, if God was one of us.
It's true.
Just a slob?
Just think about it. Like a man who's accused, I did it. I killed her. Oh. Why? Because I'm God. And you ever notice it's always that guy claiming he's God? Like, it's always someone claiming that. It's never like Kevin at the copier sitting where he's sitting like, how'd you have a good weekend? Yeah, I got hammered. And by the way, I'm Jesus. No shit. Really? You're Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's always that guy.
Totally cool.
Did you put your pants back on?
Yeah, well, you know what? I guess the Son of Man has to abide by society.
Yeah.
We were all naked to begin with, bro.
So the victim was 40-year-old Michelle Go of Manhattan.
That's so sad.
She was a senior manager at Deloitte and a volunteer advocate for the homeless. The killer was a 61-year-old homeless psychopath.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that matters because this could happen at any point. We've talked about cash bail. We've talked about the revolving door of criminals in New York. You've seen the rising crime rates, all references available at loudoutcredit.com. This is a specific instance where the killer's sister had begged the hospital to keep him admitted, saying that she was afraid of what he would do when he was released.
Yeah.
Now, this crime was talked about initially, and then, of course, when we found out who committed the anti-Asian hate crime, well, the media for a little while was dead silent. Kind of like with Waukesha, Boulder, Fort Worth, the Colleyville Synagogue. You know, the media just kind of moves on.
They do.
Moves on down the trail.
Don't forget the school shooting in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I included that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
I'm just shocked it wasn't a Trump support.
Just want to keep
yes.
it up.
Domestic terror is the #1 problem in this country.
Well, that's what I thought when I
heard an idiot say that.
When I heard New York City pushed in front of a subway, I thought, MAGA hat?
You gotta be.
Is that like a throwback Tea Party?
Member? Yeah.
Gotta
exactly.
be. No doubt. A guy in a powdered wig covering his koala syphilis
Yeah.
scars.
One of the founding
dumping
fathers.
all the Asians into the harbor.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. Now, the media, of course, they're going to force this to try and fit their narrative that all violence in the U.S. it's largely white people, white supremacy. And I have articles here from San Francisco Chronicle, Times, CNN. San Fran Chronicle writes, studies show that white people drive anti-Asian hate. Also, men who claim to be God. The Conversation writes, white supremacy is the root of all race-related violence in the U.S. Time wrote, I'm tired of trying to educate white people about anti-Asian racism. CNN wrote, white supremacy and hate are haunting Asian Americans. Now, this is all despite the fact that, what is the number, 28?
I think it's 28% of crimes against Asian victims are, in fact, committed by Black Americans.
Oh, the highest of any
race.
Interracial crime.
Yeah, just for context.
And also, ironic that the San Francisco Chronicle would write about that because 2008 San Francisco Police Department survey found 85% of all physical assault crimes in the Bay Area consisted of a Black attacker on an Asian victim.
What I'm sorry, Stephen, you meant to say white.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is all brand new because when you watch Menace to Society that was made, 30 years ago, I feel sorry for your mother.
Yeah.
And then they shoot him and his wife. And
Welcome to New York.
That one was Compton, but
lights will inspire you. You'll step in hobo poop.
That parody has to be made.
I actually wrote one.
What?
I wrote one too.
I have a New York
We
State
both
of
wrote
mind.
them.
You should have like a
we wrote it
together.
together.
Dance
No, I
off.
wrote one and then you wrote one.
Then we should combine it to make it a superpower.
Yeah. First I raised a hobo man, then I went a subway, then I pushed an Asian lady right on the subway. What?
You can't say subway.
You read
twice.
Subway with Subway? Destiny's Child did it, so why can't I though? They rhyme down like that, with, down like that. Yeah, ha. Oh, what a marvelous talent.
Oh, wow. Give him an award.
Best rapper alive.
Not for long.
Seriously.
No.
There's
Jay-Z.
another rapper coming out. I'm just saying more rappers are coming out.
Oh my gosh.
He chose the wrong door.
Sitting on the sidewalk, bodies surrounded in chalk.
Yeah. Why use a chalk, though? Why don't use a hobo? Maybe use a Sharpie. Then I can get narky. I don't even know what I'm rhyming. I just say, yeah, and then I rhyme ha with ha, yeah, ha.
5 million homeless pulling it out saying, grope this.
Here's a guest appearance from Kanye. Ha!
Oh, he's masturbating on the train. Which they do. I live there. It's like everybody, and nobody cares. You're just like, well, we don't want to go to that side of the cart. The man's pleasuring himself. We'll just be over here where Spider-Man's asking for change. It's a hellhole.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.